Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our webinar today. We're glad to have Dr. Sechiro Takei, who will be presenting to us on effective recovery strategies for performance in sports. So without much ado, I'll just ask you, Dr. Takei, to proceed. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you so much. My name is Seichiro Takei. I work at the Teikyo University Institute of Sports Science and Medicine, located in Tokyo, Japan. So today I want to talk about effective recovery strategies for performance in sport. And I work at the university as a not only as a researcher, but also as a strength and conditioning coach and also weightlifting coach. So, and my main research topic is about biomechanical characteristics of weightlifting exercises, such as power cleans and hang high pulls and hang power cleans, something like that. So, recovery is not my research area, but I do a presentation about recovery today. Why? Because when I'm working with the athletes, I always feel like recovery is as important as training itself. And athletes are always eager to, put their effort and time on training, but many times not on the recovery. So many times I have to talk to them and then I have to convince them why recovery is so important and you should do this and that, you know. So in order to explain the importance of the recovery, I have to do so many research on recovery. That's why, you know, I made this slides for my athletes, and now I do a presentation on the recovery here today. Okay. So let's move on to the next slide. So this is my favorite place to go when I need a recovery, mentally and physically. When I feel so tired, I just go to this place, and my body knows this is the right place to go. My body feels so refreshed, and after I go to this place, I feel fully recovered. So one of the most important thing to me in terms of recovery is to listen to your body. I think that's the most important thing when choosing the right recovery strategies. You know, if you listen to your body very well, you will know what is needed and what is not actually needed. See, this is a very beautiful place. I took this picture. But in addition to listening to your body, if you know the scientific background and findings on recovery, you will make an even better decisions, right? So that's why I'm going to talk about all these various recovery techniques and their effectiveness based on scientific findings. Some are very basic, like nutrition, hydration, sleep, very basic, but some are not widely used, but very beneficial. So I will touch a bit on each of these, and at the end, you will understand which recovery strategies you should use in your schedule. So let me talk about the fitness fatigue theory a little bit. So this shows how your body reacts to the training. So after the training, you get both positive and negative effects. So positive effect is fitness. This includes strength, power, speed, endurance, like all the physical characteristics. But after the training, you also get negative effect of fatigue. And this is easy math. So right after the training, negative effect is bigger than the positive effect. So you get negative physical conditions. But after a few hours or a few days, negative effect dissipates faster than the positive effect. So you get a higher physical condition than the original state.
not that him play.
Okay. Any problem? So this is how your body reacts after the training. So if you get a good training and good recovery, you keep increasing your physical conditions, including strength, speed, power, endurance. And other than that, you can get improved motor coordination, decreased risk of injury, positive and focused mind, and improved motivation. But on the other hand, if you do too much training and or not enough recovery, your physical condition keep decreasing, which is the big problem. So to prevent that, you should approach on both aspects. And many people control the training volume, especially right before the competition. So many athletes reduce their training volume to recover before competition. But this is called tapering. But this only improves performance by an average of 3%, which is very big at the highest level of sports. But long term, you have to improve a lot more. So recovery is important, not only before competitions, but also on a daily basis. So in order to do it, you can make a long training program plan like this, usually decrease the training volume right before the competition, but you can also do it during the preparation phase too. Like here, you go heavy on the first three weeks, and then you take a back off week here, and you take another 3 big weeks, and after that you take a back off weeks like this. And you can do kind of same thing for a week program too. You go heavy on Monday and Tuesday and go light on Wednesday, and you go heavy again on Thursday and light on Friday and Saturday, the heaviest day, and Sunday, day off, like this. So controlling the training volume is very important to facilitate the recovery process. But is it? But that's not enough because training is very important for improving your performance, but it's not only um, not only one factor that affect the performance. There are so many other factors that affect performance, like heredity, your genetics and work, what's happening at your school, social life, injury, sleep, nutrition, environment, and coach-athlete relationship. This is my coach, Coach Kyle Pierce, his favorite slide, and I like it too. Um, when working with athletes, you should consider what's happening outside of the gym as well. So not only controlling the training volume, the key is to improve the quality and quantity of recovery intervention for a optimal adaptation of your body. So now let me talk about the most basic but most important recovery interventions, which are nutrition, hydration, and sleep. And let me start from sleep because it's very important, but its importance is sometimes overlooked. So, and I like sleeping and I do a lot of research on that. So let me start from the sleep. Sleeping is closely related to recovery from fatigue and serves as a bulwark against the transition from acute to chronic fatigue, which is called overtraining syndrome. Sleep is important because we spend a lot of time on sleep. Average lifespan is about 80 years, and we spend in bed almost half of it. So the quality of sleep is very important, not only for the sports, but also for your life. You know that which city is that um, worst city when it comes to the sleeping time. That is Tokyo. I'm one of the citizens, and our average sleep time is only 5 hours and 28 minutes. But we as a human needs a lot more sleep time. So many studies shows that we need at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep per day. And all the other animals, there's a difference, but still almost all the other animals have to sleep. You might have met some genetic short sleepers. They may say like, oh, I need just 3 hours of sleep and that's enough. But they are so rare and they're genetically like that. But most of the people, and I think you also cannot become them by effort. And there's a rat experiment, and but all the rats died after 2 to 4 weeks of sleep deprivation. So sleep is very important, and human needs to sleep. Most of the people, 99% of people needs to sleep more than 7 or 8 hours. That's what study shows. And this is very interesting study. The left one shows that how hours of wakefulness affect brain performance. Brain performance drops to 94% after waking up for 24 hours. And the right one shows that how blood alcohol concentration affect brain performance. So when you get the same 94% of your brain performance, you can see that your alcohol concentration level is around 0.08, which is very drunk. You know, this level 0.08, this level is actually more than tipsy. You're pretty drunk. So this means your brain performance after sleep deprivation is comparable to a state of intoxication. This is another very interesting study. So subjects were young individuals who claims to be getting enough sleep, and they were told to sleep as much as they want. And let's see what happens for the first day. So they slept over 10 hours. And second day, around 10 hours, around 9 hours again for third days. And after 3 or 4 days, it became stable. And, around 9 hours of sleep per day. So this clearly shows that even though they said they were getting enough sleep, but actually they were having a sleep debt of average 1 hour. So what's interesting is in this study is that they were lacking sleep, but they were not aware of it. And it took 3 to 4 days to pay off. So many people are feeling they're getting enough sleep, but they're actually not. But it's very hard to realize that. So how can you be aware of sleep deprivation by yourself? There are some simple diagnostic criteria for that. So if there is a difference in sleeping duration, sleeping time between weekdays and weekends, more than 2 hours, that means you're lacking sleep. You have to sleep during weekdays. And another criteria is that if you fall asleep too quick during a daytime nap, if you fall asleep in 8 minutes or so, this shows that you may be lacking sleep. So far, I talked mainly about the brain performance or cognitive performance. But how about the effect on physical performance? This is very clear and easy to understand. If you're lacking sleep time, you'll get decreased performance in this study, 30 minutes endurance running. And the right one shows that you'll get decreased pedaling power after short sleep. it's obvious that sleep, if you don't get enough sleep, you get less performance level. But not only about the performance level, the sleep also affect body compositions too. So if you get short sleep for 2 weeks, in this study, the subject increased their calorie intake by 308 kilocalories per day. And they gained, in 2 weeks, they gained 0.5 kilograms. And they increased their body fat by 11%, which is a lot. And another study shows that this study used obese subjects, and the subjects were given extended sleep duration during this study, and their total appetite decreased by 14%. And especially their appetite for sweets and salty foods decreased by 62%. These sweets and salty foods contains a lot of fats and carbohydrates. So the decrements of appetite for these kind of foods makes you lose weight and makes you be in a good shape. So sleeping well is very important, not only for the performance, but also for your body composition. But most athletes sleep less than needed because they have to do early morning or late night training, and they have a sleep disturbances due to anxiety or nervousness and lots of schoolwork, work at night. And this is getting big problem especially for younger generation, smartphone use. They keep using it right before they go into a bed, but this is detrimental for the quality of sleep and duration of the sleep. So this is the recommended bedroom environment that improves the quality of sleep. So make sure to have these kind of uh, settings when you try to go to bed and when you try to get the quality of sleep. So the environment should be cool and dark and quiet. These three components are so important for the quality of sleep. But for some people, like including me, sometimes I'm too busy for work and I don't have enough time for sleep at nighttime. For those people, we should get the power nap. Power nap is very beneficial. The fact is, it compensates for sleep deprivation and suppresses afternoon sleepiness and improves physical performance. And we should do it only for 15 to 30 minutes. And if we do it too long, that can be a detrimental to nighttime sleep. So make sure to sleep only for 15 to 30 minutes. Okay, so summary about sleep. Sleep is extremely important for both the body and mind. Ensuring adequate quality and quantity of sleep is one of the most effective recovery strategies. Sleep is essential for maintaining our physical and cognitive performance, but we are often unaware that we are lacking it. Practical application. So make sure to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep per day and create a cool, dark, quiet bedroom environment. And if you don't get enough sleep time, use power nap if you are lacking sleep. Okay. And next one is nutrition. But I think there were already presentation about nutrition by some specialists. So I don't really go deep into that. Okay. These are macronutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and vitamins and minerals. And for doing high intensity exercises, we need a carbohydrate and fats. But if we don't take those enough, your body breaks down skeletal muscle protein to produce glucose to maintain blood glucose levels. This results in a decrease in muscle mass acquired through training. which is very sad for people who try to increase the muscle mass and strength. So we should make sure that we take enough carbohydrate before and after the training. And proteins are also very important. And recommended daily intake is about 1.5 to 2 grams per kilograms of your body weight. So if you're about 60 kilograms, you should take 90 grams to 120 grams of proteins per day. And people here in Japan, they always say, oh, we have to take a protein in the golden hour. But is there a golden hour for protein intake? This review article says that there may be that kind of time frames, but effect of timing is very small. So the most important factor in improving muscle mass and strength is total intake in a day. So make sure to take enough amount of protein throughout the day. So practical application, consume the required amount of the 5 macronutrients in good balance. Consume enough carbohydrates after exercise. And protein promotes muscle repair and synthesis. And total daily intake is more important than timing. And you can use supplements also to supplement what is lacking. Fluid intake is very important too. Most weight loss from exercise is water loss, and loss of only 2% of body weight reduces physical performance. So you should make sure that weight loss should be limited to 2% or less. So if you weigh around 60 kilograms and if you lose 1.2 kilograms after the training, that is a lot. So you have to take more water than usual. How can you know that? You can see the color of your urine. If the urine is dark in color below the red line of the left picture of this, or if you feel thirsty, that's alert too. You're already dehydrated and should rehydrate promptly. So many people drink water only when they are thirsty, but most of the time that's too late. You should keep drinking water before you feel thirsty. So practical application, drink water frequently to prevent performance loss or to prevent heat stroke. Monitor weight changes on a daily basis to ensure that post-exercise weight loss is within 2%. And sodium is also lost during exercise, so sports drinks are beneficial too. Okay, these are hydration, nutrition, sleep. These are the most basic but most important recovery strategies. So before trying other techniques like stretching, massage, active recovery, you should make sure that you are already doing good in these 3 basic recovery methods. Okay, next, I would like to talk about stretching. So people do stretching for recovery. There are many types of stretching, like dynamic stretching, active stretching, but when it comes to recovery, people do static stretching. So people use it as a means of improving flexibility, but stretching is also widely used to reduce post-exercise fatigue and muscle soreness. But is it actually effective? Study shows that there is no significant effect on recovery for maximal strength, rate of force development, or duration of exertion from stretching. And unfortunately, the same is true for performance measures such as jumping and sprinting. This study shows that the subjective recovery level from the stretching, and it shows that when you do stretching, your fatigue level, the effect on fatigue level is small, and also the effect on muscle soreness is moderate. So it's stretching may make you feel better, but actual performance recovery level doesn't change so much. And sometimes stretching can be a detrimental for your recovery. And you have to be cautious to stretch after exercises using eccentric contractions. So eccentric contraction is the contraction of a muscle during its lengthening. And in this type of contraction, you get more muscle damage and soreness. You get more muscle damage and soreness after eccentric contraction compared to concentric ones. And stretching may aggravate delayed onset muscle soreness. So in this study, they compared two groups. One is doing only eccentric contraction, and the other group did stretching in addition to eccentric contraction. And the results were, as you can see, the stretching delayed recovery process, and stretching caused more damage on muscle ailments such as titin. So when you do it in a practical setting, make sure to avoid static stretching right after high intensity training that cause muscle soreness. But it's okay to try to gain flexibility from stretching. It's very beneficial for gaining flexibility. So for gaining flexibility and reducing subjective soreness, perform stretching after bathing or some maximal training. And make sure to combine it with other recovery strategies, because only stretching is not enough for a good recovery. Okay, so next I'm gonna talk about massage. I love massage and everyone likes massage, but is it really effective? In massage, you uses various techniques such as pressure and friction to stimulate blood circulation and fatigue relief. Also used for pain relief and relaxation. It's widely used, and this shows the massage practice rate for Beijing 2008 Olympic Games French national team. And massage was used for 63%. So they used massage the most. And what's the effect of massage for recovery? So massage gives you a reduction of muscle damage and inflammation, and also gives you a reduction in muscle soreness, which is very good. But so far, there are little research done on the physical performance, and recovery effects on physical performance hasn't been confirmed so far. So this doesn't mean that massage is not beneficial for recovery. But now, based on the previous researches, massages are not the first choice for the recovery, like stretching. Recently, many studies are done for foam roll. Improves myofascial blinding and dysfunction. And this decreases in muscle soreness due to increased pain threshold. And the results shows that there is a recovery effect on athletic performance, such as jumping. So foam rolling might be, for now, a better option than just doing a massage. The practical application. Massage can be implemented for pain relief, relaxation, and other positive psychological effects. Due to its inadequate effect on recovery, however. Massage should be combined with other recovery strategies, and foam rolling may be a better option. And effective duration and intensity are not clear, so we need more research on that. Okay, so next is the compression garments. This aims to promote blood circulation by applying graduated pressure from the periphery to the center of the body. People wear it, but they're not using it for the recovery purpose. But many studies uh, looked at the effect of this type of compression garments on recovery and performance. And this study shows that the compression garments works very well. If subjects wear the compression garments, they recover faster, and they went back to their original state quicker than just not wearing that. So it looks like compression is very good recovery methods for strength. This is because this type of compression helps remove metabolites by promoting blood circulation. On the other hand, these review articles state that recovery of maximum muscle strength and power using compression garments may be brought about only when the degree of post-exercise muscle damage is very significant. So this means that when muscle damage is not very significant, you don't really need to use compression garments. So practical application. Use compression garments for your entire leg or lower leg after high intensity exercise that induce muscle damage. And there are no clear criteria regarding duration, body part, pressure level, and so on. And make sure to stop using them if feeling discomfortable. Even though study shows that this is very beneficial, if you feel uncomfortable, you shouldn't do it, and you should stop wearing that. Okay, and now I'm going to talk about icing or cooling and heating. And there are various ways to do it. So for cooling, you can take a cold bath or you can put an ice pack on your body. And for heating, you can take a hot bath or hot shower, or you can use a hot pack. And which one is the most effective strategies for the recovery? This study looked at the three different kinds of recovery strategies for the recovery. Athletes did a 66 sprints daily and 105 minutes in total per day, and they did it for 5 days in a row. So this is pretty tough research design, and this study, the results shows that cold bath and the combination of ice and hot bath were the better recovery methods compared to hot bath and just taking a rest. Why taking cold bath is good for your recovery? So when you take a cold bath, after the exercises, you get a reduction of inflammation and muscle soreness. And you can promote a recovery of maximum muscle strength and power. And also in hot environments, your body temperature get really high. So by taking a cold bath, you can decrease body and skin temperature. And you can also improve your endurance exercises too. Endurance performance. So this looks like you know, maybe you should take a cold bath every day. So this study looked at the effect of cold bath and light exercises. So in this study, subject took either cold bath or light exercises for 10 minutes after every training for 3 months. And you can see the results that taking cold bath every day hinders the development of muscle mass and strength. So cold bath is very good, especially right after the very intense workouts. But if you take it daily and if you keep taking a cold bath every day for, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you may have a detrimental effect too. So taking cold bath on a regular basis is not recommended. And it should be taken only after high intensity workouts or when fatigue level is very high. So how about the ice and hot bath, the combination of ice and hot bath, which is called contrast bath. When you take a contrast bath, you get increased blood flow and removal of metabolic products through repeated vasoconstriction by cooling and vasodilation by heating. And from that, you can get a less muscle pain and you can gain strength and power and you can get a good recovery from that. So the practical application is like this. So when there is a muscle damage, when you're with the muscle damage or soreness, you should take cold bath, like after the very intense workouts. So water temperature should be around 11 to 15 degree and duration should be around 10 to 15 minutes. And you should take it within 30 minutes after intense exercise. And up to the shoulder is preferable. But when there is not so much muscle damage or soreness, it's recommended to use the contrast bath. The water temperature should be less than 20 for cooling and more than 38 degrees for heating. And 4 to 5 sets times 2 minutes by 2 minutes. And you should take it not right after the training, but around 1.5 hours after exercise. And up to the shoulders is preferable. And make sure to finish with the cold water. This is the recommendation in the practical setting when you're using ice and heat. Okay, the last one is active recovery. Active recovery, you use light exercises such as jogging, cycling, or water exercise, which is also called cooling down. So active rest is very good for removal of metabolites from muscle and blood, mainly by promoting blood flow. However, the mechanism is not very clear for now, but recovery effects are limited to short periods of time between one exercise and the next. So active recovery is very good recovery strategies for like halftime of soccer game. But when you try to recover from the yesterday's workouts or 1 or 2 days before, active rest is not the best choice. This study shows that no recovery effects on the next day or later from doing active recovery. Why? Because after the training, the quick energy replenishment is more important after the exercise, like carbohydrates. But performing light exercises sometimes may cause energy depletion. So the practical application is that there are little effects on recovery for the day after a game or training session from doing active recovery. So if you want to perform it to remove metabolites from your blood, it should be limited to 10 minutes or so. And energy supplementation after training is essential. Okay, now we looked at all the various type of recovery strategies. And now we look at how we should do them in the practical settings. So this is the conclusion first. That proper sleep and diet are fundamental. And if you want to do it something more, you can do cooling, heating, or compression. These are also beneficial too. So now you know which method is more beneficial than others. So now you can schedule your daily recovery plan. So let's say you finish training at 6 and you go back home at 7. So what would you do with this schedule? So let me show you one example. So I would schedule the meals and sleep first because they are the most basic. Like this. So right after the training, I eat light meals and water. And after I get home, I change my clothes and I eat a dinner. And I sleep around 11 p.m. Then I put other recovery methods into my schedule. So I may take ice bath, and I may do some stretching for my flexibility. And after going back home, I take a hot shower. And after eating dinner, I'm gonna wear compression garments and until, right before I go to bed. So like this, you can develop your own recovery strategies that fits your schedule. And the key is consistency. So try to start small. Okay, I think that's it for my presentation. Thank you, and please ask if there are any questions.
Thank you, Dr. Seichiro.
Thank you.
For your wonderful presentation, very informative and educative. So I will open the floor for any questions. Anyone who has anything to either ask or get clarification.
Hello, Coach. Yes, I have a question. It's Mariam Gado here.
Yes. Hello.
My question is, do you advise 2 days rest or 1 day rest?
After which sports are you playing or coaching?
I'm an athlete. I'm a weightlifter.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it depends on how hard you trained for that day, Like if you don't push yourself too hard, you don't need to take a, whole day off. You can just go, you might go a little easy, but still you can train. But the fatigue accumulates throughout the week. So if you train from Monday to Friday, you should take a day off. But still, if you feel still tired and fatigued, you can take maybe extra day off.
Okay.
Did I answer your question?
It depends with the workout of the week. That's your answer.
Yes,
That's
yes,
what I
yes.
got. Okay. Okay.
But
Thank you.
As I said, training volume itself is not, I mean, even if you train really hard, you can,
Yeah.
if you get really good recovery from eating and sleeping and, doing some ice bath or something like that, you may,
Okay.
keep pushing yourself too. So the most important thing is to listen to your body.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure,
that's my
sure,
answer.
sure.
Yeah. Mhm.
Indeed. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for asking.
Any other concern from anyone? Doctor, could you just expound on tapering? You said tapering could only contribute to 3% of performance.
Yeah. Mhm.
I've always believed that tapering is the best way to improve on your performance. How does this, how is it that only 3%, not 10 to 20%? Because you've relaxed, you just maintained your high threshold, but of course low volume to maintain your level of energy. So how is it not more than 3%? What is the mechanics behind that?
Actually, I need to look at the study more about more detail, because maybe 3% for very top level athletes, 3% is still very big, 100 kilograms of snatch and 103 kilograms of snatches. This can differentiate gold medal and bronze medal. So 3% is still huge, but the number can get bigger for amateur athletes, if they take a good tapering strategies. So I think it depends on the level of athletes too. But I just wanted to say tapering is, I didn't want to say tapering is not very important, but I just wanted to say in the long term, tapering is just part of the, performing well. But, and people, it's hard to put, but sorry, what was your question?
Now, I already got what you mean. It's part of
Yeah.
performance. It's not that tapering should take it
Yeah.
very high, but it's part of the
Yeah.
training program to make you perform at the competition level.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want everyone to put that, concept of tapering to the ordinary training schedule too. Does it make sense?
Yeah. There's someone's hand up. Or somebody had
Oh.
raised, and then there is a question. Okay, there's a question in the chat box.
Mhm.
Let me read it out. The question is it advisable for someone on juicing diet to do intense training?
What does juicing means here? Juicing diet?
David, could you just try to explain what you're saying?
Yes, my question is, is
Yes.
it advisable for a person on juicing diet to do intense training? Juicing diet, I mean these people who do juice just only on a daily basis. They don't eat food, they just do juice, green juice and red juice, like as their food for like 1 month.
Sorry, I couldn't hear very well. So juicing is like juice, like orange juice, apple juice, something like that, or you mean steroids?
Yes. I
No,
think he
I
means
mean
normal juice.
they,
Yeah.
Their juice is called green juice and red juice. They make them from beetroot, carrot, those things. Those medicinal juice for cleansing the body.
Could you add something? Sorry, Agola.
I think there are people who try to control their body weight by just taking juices, not solid food. So he's asking, is it appropriate for someone who is just surviving on or taking juice to be involved in intense training?
Ah, like juice means
Just
like a
juice.
protein juice.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, just juices, yeah.
I think that's very good idea. Like some people have a hard time to, digest well. So, and when you are so stressed and like, especially right before the competition, so many people have a hard time to, digest foods. So juice helps you with that. Still you need to take enough amount of calories from foods, but if if you have a hard time eating like hard food, taking juice is very good alternatives for that. Did I answer your question?
I believe you
Yes,
did.
the juice is very good, but is it okay
Mm.
for someone to do?
So your question is, it's
Lost.
still good for the intense training? That's what you want to ask?
Yes, that is where my question is.
Yeah. So just taking a juice on one day should be fine. But if you take, if you take calorie only from juice is, it's very hard. You have to take a lot of that. So, if you feel fine, you should go back to and eat the ordinary foods. But if you feel so stressed and, you know, your intestine get really tired, you can get a juice. So it depends on how you feel and how your body reacts. Did
Are
I
you
answer your
satisfied?
question?
Yeah, thank you so much. I've got it.
Oh, thank you. Mhm.
Sebastian, his hand is up. You can go ahead.
Mhm.
Thank you. My question goes, after intensive exercise,
Mhm.
is it advisable to do the stretches, maybe from motion to static, or you can use other alternatives?
Yeah, let me show you the slides that I used. Yeah, so right after that very intense exercises, I don't recommend using the static stretching because it may make it worse, and it may delay the recovery process. So, you know, so I recommend using the other alternatives like sleeping and eating is very basic. And if you want to do something extra, you should do taking an ice bath instead of doing stretching.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
iPhone, go ahead. The person whose hand is up is just iPhone. You can go ahead, ask your question. Maybe there's a
Um, it- the question is how you can recover from training 2 times in a day intensive training. Uh, yeah, that's very tough situation. I can imagine. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know the exact answer for that, but it's obvious that you have to take a lot more energy than usual. So, most people just eat 3 times a day. But if you train 2 times a day, you have to eat a lot more. So, right before the training, in the morning training, and right after the training. And then again, right before the afternoon training and right before the afternoon training too. So if you train really hard and 2 times in a day, you may have to take maybe 4 or 5 meals per day. I think that's the most important. And if you want to facilitate the recovery process more, as I said, you can take ice bath or you can do a contrast bath. Or before sleeping, you can wear the compression garments to facilitate the recovery process. But if doing too much makes you stress out, you shouldn't do it. So you can, try all the other recovery strategies that I presented today, and let's see how you feel, how your body feels. And you can choose the right one for yourself. Yep, that's my answer.
The next question is on compression garments.
Mm-hmm.
The chat
How
box.
long? Unfortunately, we don't have enough studies to answer that question, and we don't know how long we should wear or how the pressure level. We don't know much about the compression garments when it comes of recovery. So again, sorry to say this so many times, but you should do that by yourself and listen to your body and see how your body reacts to that. But I recommend to start from very short term, like 10 or 15 minutes. And if you feel good, you can put it a little longer than that. I'm sure there is a individual differences. So yeah, if you have one, you should try that maybe tonight and see how your body reacts tomorrow. Okay.
Any more concerns? There's no any other concern or clarification that you would want Dr. Sechiro to give?
I think I'm good. I'm sorry that I might, have spoken too fast because I was very nervous. But I hope everyone, enjoyed my presentation and hope you can get something very informative for your, training and coaching. Yeah.
Now, to assure you, you didn't speak very fast, and I believe your pace and explanations were very clear, and I believe we've learned a lot on the basic recovery strategies that we might have been taken for granted, like sleep, diet, and I believe we've picked quite a lot, strategies that we can employ at a local level and to help us in terms of recovery. Otherwise, let me take again this opportunity to thank you for your time. I know it's late in Japan, but you offered to do this. We're very grateful and appreciative of your time, experience, and knowledge in whatever topic that you've shared with us. Otherwise, thank you so much. Have a good night, and we hope to see you again. Maybe
Have a good night. Yes.
Yes.
I really hope to see you again too.
Yes.
Thank you
maybe
everyone for taking your time to listen to my presentation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and for the listeners, we have there is a link in the chat. You can share your review in case you need anything, in case you need us to improve on anything, or you can let us know through the review. Thank you so much, and have a good evening.
Thank you.
All right.